very much for coming to this briefing organized by the CICC on the occasion of the 8th Assembly of the States Parties. There's a number of issues that we wanted to raise with you, and we thought Philippe Comina of the Coalition, Liz Evanson from Human Rights Watch, and Mohamed Lifula from HURINET would be the best ones to brief you. We'll try to have 10 to 15 minutes short talk, and then more time for questions and answers. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. You have my phone numbers, and we prepared some press kits with a biography of the speakers and other of our publications, so don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thanks very much, and it's nice to see you here. We've worked with a number of you for a number of years. I'm Bill Pace, convener for the coalition. We will have about 200 of our members, organizations of the over 2,500 members in 150 countries who will be participating in the 8th Assembly of State Parties meeting. This is the governing body of the Rome Statute for the International Criminal Court. This is its annual meeting. They have given themselves a extremely difficult set of challenges this year, in addition to being a regular Assembly of State Parties meeting in which they have to deal with all of the issues of an annual governing body. Also this year there was an election of 5 new members of the Board of Directors for the Victims Trust Fund, though Ambassador Antangarel from Mongolia is the one member from the previous Trust Fund Board of Directors who was eligible for re-election, and he was re-elected to a 3-year term. And then yesterday afternoon and evening, they held an election of 2 new judges. It took 6 ballots. In the first ballot, Kuniko Osaki of Japan was elected, and on the 6th ballot, Silvia Fernandez de Grimandi from Argentina was elected to be a judge. And we believe both of these candidates are available fairly quickly to begin serving, which is important. And then, in addition, the Assembly will be addressing the review conference, which is mandated in the statute that after 7 years, the governments could begin presenting amendments. So beginning last July 1st, governments could send to the Secretary General of the United Nations, who will be convening the review conference, communications about amendments to the treaty. Incidentally, with the 7-year having passed, now governments could come at every Assembly meeting with amendments if they so wished. But we do know, going into the review conference, which will be held in Kampala, Uganda, beginning on the 31st of May of next year, and will go for between 5 and 10 days, and our estimate now is that there will be a compromise of around 8 days for the review conference. In addition to amendments, and there are amendments that have been proposed on weapons, including landmines, chemical, biological weapons by the Belgian government, nuclear weapons by the Mexico government. There's the definition of the crime of aggression, which is basically mandated in the closing documents from Rome to be negotiated and perhaps finalized at the review conference. The Norwegian government has made a proposal on enforcement of sentences, and the Dutch government has made a proposal on the crime of terrorism, and Trinidad and Tobago on drug crimes, etc. In addition, it's an opportunity for the governments and the Assembly to take a look at the Rome Statute, at the Rome Statute system, and at the ICC after 7 years. And last year when we tried to have a meeting on a review conference, we could get something like this attendance here. This year we had a room twice the size here, jam-packed, and included leaders of all of the organs of the court and heads of delegations and representatives of international organizations, etc. So we believe that there's a great opportunity here in the review conference for the international community to not only renew its commitment to the treaty and to discuss ways of improving the treaty, and also to discuss how has the court operated and what are going to be challenges that the court will have to address in moving forward for the next, say, 7 years. Also at this meeting, one of the main issues will be adopting a budget for 2010, and we still have a tension between governments who are trying to move into a position of not increasing the budget and trying to get the court on a steady budgetary track, and also I think there's disagreements between the different organs of the court on budget issues, and the Committee on Budget and Finance, which is the Assembly's committee, will be here, and it's the committee's report instead of the court's budget. It's the committee's proposed budget that will be the basis for the negotiation on the budget, which will, I think, be taken up tomorrow during the day and throughout this week. Incidentally, at the election, I think it was significant that there were 20% of the governments that did not participate, most through non-attendance, and a few because they were in arrearage and were not allowed to vote. And I think this is an issue that is going to be worrisome going forward, and we need to try and address that. Some will be saying that it's because of the location and the difficulty for some countries to get to the Netherlands, and others will have other reasons that they would be arguing. But when votes are decided by 1 or 2 votes for such an important position, and you have 15 or 16 countries not voting, that's a worrisome situation. One of the most important issues for the coalition is the issue of state cooperation. We have countries that have arrest warrants that are state parties that are not executing the arrest warrants. We have countries that are being asked to cooperate by the Office of the Prosecution or by the court and are not cooperating. And we have a whole range of situations where countries don't have national laws and interagency agreements at the national level to be able to cooperate properly with the court. And that will be something hopefully we can have raised at this session. There will be a report by the focal point on cooperation, and the coalition's members will have a number of specific recommendations that they will be making. The last point I'll make in opening comments is about the African Union Office. We have encouraged